1.5 million children.
1.5 million children
were killed
during the Holocaust.
I wanna hear you sing it. Hey, mama, don't stress your mind. We coming home tonight.
Holocaust is a word of Greek origin meaning sacrifice by fire. The Nazis believed that Germans were racially superior, that the Jewish people thought to be inferior. They were an alien threat to the so-called German racial community. They thought that if they will eliminate all of the Jewish people from Europe, then Germany will be a much greater country.
homosexuals and handicapped.
Once World War II began,
Nazis ordered all Jews
to wear a yellow Star of David on their clothing,
so they could be easily targeted.
children were one of the first victims.
led to mass graves.
To be shot.
to be shot.
$1.5 million children.
1.5 million children
Were killed.
Killed.
killed during the Holocaust.
The Holocaust was the attempt by the Germans to get rid of all inferior races.
I am Cuban,
Colombian, German,
Indian, Irish, American,
Salvadorian,
Jamaican,
Scottish,
Polish,
Italian,
Native American.
Mexican.
American. And this is an American hand.
this is an Italian hand.
This is a Colombian.
This is a German hand.
This is a Scottish hand.
This is a South Korean hand. This is a Greek hand.
And this is an American hand.
The Holocaust took place during World War II. After World War I, Germany had to give up a lot of its land. They also had to reduce the amount and the size of their armed forces. They felt like they were a very strong country. Now they need to be something a lot less. They felt like they deserved better. Germans elected Adolf Hitler, who was the head of the Nazi Party, as Chancellor in 1933. Hitler promised to make Germany a great country again. He was a politician. We all know the name Adolf Hitler as a dictator, as a ruthless dictator, as a mass murderer. But he was a politician. The word Nazi is an abbreviation for the National Socialist Party of Germany. The Nazis began to get powerful as a political party in the 1930s, and they were led by Adolf Hitler. He was a politician. He was not a dictator who took Germany by force or by an army. The people of Germany actually elected him. In 1935, Hitler passes few laws called Nuremberg laws. They actually defined who was a Jew. And they have restrictions for Jewish people. They cannot marry German citizens. They are forbidden to have sexual relationships outside marriage with non-Jewish people. They cannot employ a female German citizen under the age of 45. They are even forbidden to display a German flag. This is basically how Hitler made sure that Jewish people will be noticed as a completely different group. But this is only the beginning. Afterwards, the Nazis began to order Jews to wear a yellow Star of David on their clothing so that Jews can be easily recognized. So that when you will pass by them in the street, you will know this person is a Jew. Jewish people are being sent to ghettos, neighborhood only in which they are allowed to work, to live, to be. But as Germany starts to feel like there's a lot of Jewish people around them, and well, they need to find a better way to eliminate them, Jews are being forced on ships and trains and sent to concentration or work camps throughout Europe. On arrival, prisoners were stripped out of their possession, their identity, their clothes. They were given uniform and a number was tattooed on their arms. Prisoners would be shot or tortured for the slightest problem. Some of them were even used for medical experiments. The German people were very efficient. They wrote down everything, and they wanted to know how many people and who were in each concentration camp. One of the ways to do that is by tattooing a number on each and every Jewish prisoner that arrived to those camps. The final solution was actually what we call the Holocaust. This is the time when Hitler decided that, well, just keeping the Jewish people in concentration camps, in working camps, that's not enough. Shooting them, that takes too long, too much money, and our soldiers are actually being hurt by having to shoot other people. He starts to think about an easy, fast, cheap way to kill a lot of people at a short time. This is how horrifying the Holocaust was. So the final solution was actually starting to take place by Germany sending all of the Jewish people not only to concentration camps but to gas chambers. This was the easiest way they could find to kill a lot of people at one time, at a short time. We talk a lot about the Jewish people during the Holocaust because, well, we are in the state of Israel. But Jews were not the only victims of the Nazi regime in Germany. In keeping with their policy, the Nazis took action to suppress various racial and social groups and to remove them from society. The Sinti and the Roma, the Gypsies, the disabled and mentally ill, homosexual, alcoholics, and homeless, and ideological opponents, such as communists or members of certain churches. All of them were persecuted and sent to camps. In 1945, well, during all those years in World War II, a lot of countries, well, a lot of people in Germany tried to speak up. You need to remember this was a time when there were no cell phones. No one could just send something and say, hey, help us. No one knew what exactly was going on. A lot of people died because a lot of people outside refused to believe that something so horrible is taking place. This is a picture from, one picture from a lot of pictures of the moment of liberation. This is in Germany. These trains were actually taking the people to concentration camps, to their death. And this picture was taken by the United States Army. And along with the United States, there were other countries, of course, who actually fought. On April 30th, 1945, 2 weeks after this picture was taken, Adolf Hitler committed suicide. A lot of the German soldiers also committed suicide, many of them because they were afraid to face and to be punished for all the crimes that they did. But a lot of people came out from that war, from the Holocaust, survived it, but managed to escape it with a lot of people from their family dying, with losing so much of their lives. And those people who survived and those people who died there, those are the people that we want to commemorate today. So as you heard in the morning, there was a 2-minute siren in which we took 2 minutes of silence to commemorate all the victims of the Holocaust. Memorial ceremonies were taking place in schools, army bases, and also cemeteries in Israel and around the world. Entertainment places today are being closed, and Israel flags are raised only to half staff.
My hope for the Holocaust Memorial Day is for the people to learn about the genocide so that it won't happen again.
The more people who commemorate the Holocaust on Holocaust Memorial Day, the more awareness there will be of the dangers and the more people will learn.
I hope that the Holocaust Memorial Day can inspire people, especially young people, to understand that they can make a difference, that one person can make a difference.
I want to ask young people, as they are the decision makers of the future, to learn the lessons of the past so that these crimes will never happen again.
My dearest wish and hope is for us to live in harmony, to respect each other, and learn to live and let live.
We all have the opportunity to use Holocaust Memorial Day to learn the lessons of the past to create a safer, better future.
We are teaching children in Israel about the Holocaust. We're talking to you about the Holocaust because we feel that the most important thing that you need to learn, to know, is through learning about the Holocaust, we learn about the responsibility of memory, the responsibility to prevent, to protect, to educate, so that what happened then will not happen again, not to us, not to anyone else. The most important sentence that I want you to take from here is this. You need to remember that the Holocaust did not begin in the gas chambers. It started with words, just words. It started with a political party talking about how the German people were a great race. This is how it started, with words. And this is what we need to remember, that each word that we are saying means something. And words can lead to horrifying actions.